So the second episode to The Idol was released last night. It's released every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can watch it on Max. As soon as the 9 o'clock hour strikes, you can stream it or you can watch it on HBO at 9 o'clock. It's gotten violently worse. There's so much potential in this series, but it's so heavily influenced by Sam Levinson's other characters. The universe of Sam Levinson is so, all of them bleed together. All of his projects seem to, the characters in his projects bleed to the next project. They all seem like they're in the same world, trapped without originality. They all seem to be going through very similar, like plagiaristically similar struggles. He's plagiarizing himself because all of his characters, the women characters, his main characters seem to be the same. There is no originality. There was so much hope for his main character, Jocelyn, in this series. She's supposed to be this pop star who was discovered at 11 years old. Very talented singer. But because the imprint of all of these industry types, her inner circle, who, at the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. They want to profit off of her talent. And they have milked her and milked her and milked her until she doesn't have any identity. And so she is spiraling, not because, just because she is grieving her mother because her mother died. It's because she's being bled dry from all of these leeches, these blood-sucking leeches, because, her talent is so profitable to them. There was a story there, but this is more than that. He's exploiting this character. He's exploiting this woman in some dark fantasy. In fact, the title of this episode is Double Fantasy. Now, on IMDb, it says, after clashing with her team over her album's first single, Jocelyn pushes herself to the limit on the set of a new music video, while Nikki sees potential in backup dancer. I like Nikki's character. Nikki is her manager and works for the label and invests. What she says goes pretty much in. When Jocelyn is struggling with this on the set of this video, because she didn't even like the setup. She didn't really want to film the video because she wants her song and her sound to be different than Nikki is forcing her. She is struggling to even make it through the day, to make it through the shoot. And Nikki, always thinking about profiting, sees this backup dancer doing, looking better. She has like this appeal that Nikki believes that she can sell. And though she cannot sing, Nikki is ready to invest in her career. So the episode starts off with Jocelyn. She's nervous, but she is determined to let her team hear her sound. And she's nervous because the single is already cut. It's going to be released in days. They're about to shoot the video in a couple of days. So all of this has been paid for, really. She wants to change it very late because she's looking for an original sound. She's looking for something drastically different than her team wants. And it seems like she really wants to pick a fight. She wants this all to blow up. It's as if she wants a fresh start. The song is very provocative and very exotic and borderline like it's OnlyFans, really. And Nikki vetoes it out the gate. Absolutely not. Everything's paid for. And she threatens her, to end her career, the whole bit, in the first few minutes of this episode. And of course, Jocelyn has no other choice but to cave. So she says, okay, fine. And she goes about her way. She calls Tedros, played by The Weeknd. And Tedros is blowing her off. He's lying to her. We know that he is bad for her, but he's blowing her off. He is, they're choreographing some scene, some X-rated scene that I guess will appear in his club. And this could have been a good episode because it just shows, this is sort of like a backstage pass of what goes on or what could potentially go on in a pop star's life, trying to present perfection to their fans and to the world even more in this very salacious way. And so we see how she's struggling to make it perfect, even though she doesn't like the setup. It's not her concept. She wants something drastically different. So she struggles take after take after take. And when she gets it just right, they didn't get a good cut of it. Like the camera was blurry and they can't use any of it. And so she is borderline about to crack under all of this pressure. And she's like, let's just call it a day. I'll pay for this $450,000. I'll stroke a check. Let's end it, because she wants to get out of there. Eventually, her feet are like, there's blisters everywhere from dancing all day. She's sweating. Her makeup's bleeding on her face. She is a hot mess, and she's been pushed and pushed and pushed to her limit. They cave. She gets to go home. She calls Tedros. He comes over with his crew, his inner circle. We learn a little more about his inner circle. They're very talented singers who he's plucked out of church and other places. And very talented they may be, they're under his thumb. And so they can't realize, or they can't even express how talented they are outside of his presence, it seems. So they're under his thumb, and it looks like we get a glimpse at what it would look like with Jocelyn under his thumb. He is a horrible influence on her. He brings his crew. They look like they've already been exploited by him, really. They're boozing, they're coking, they're having sex. Jocelyn's in trouble. It's as if nobody loves her. Nobody really, really cares. Even her best friend, who is also her assistant, she's distracted by Isaac, played by Moses Sumney, who's in Tedros's army, really, his entourage, his inner circle. So she's distracted. But, Jocelyn's team has run recognizances on Tedros. They know that he has a checkered past. They can't piece everything together. So far, they know that he spent some time in jail, and he's spent some time in Hawaii or fled Hawaii. So he's got a checkered past. They know that he's going to be a bad influence on Jocelyn. And so they're going to work on keeping him at bay. I think it's too late for that. Really, because at the end of this episode, he's talking about moving in and she's agreed. So he's a bloodsucker too. And it just feels like she is attracted to these blood-sucking types. And maybe because since she was 11, they've been in her life. I want to learn more about her mom. I want to see, you know, actually how her mom was. She misses her mom desperately. And it seems like that's all she really had. I mean, because these people at the end of the day really don't care. Like, they're pushing her. She sought treatment when she had a nervous breakdown. She went in rehab. She sought therapy. She got out too soon, as we learn in this episode. It's just it's looking bad for her. And that's fine. These characters, characters don't live in a perfect world like we don't. I get that. The problem becomes that Sam Levinson never lets them breathe. This character will never get a breather. This character will never be saved. This character will always be in a hole and continually spiraling and spiraling. There's no bottom for his main characters. And so Jocelyn will never have someone who really loves her, because that's not how Sam Levinson writes. And that's really sad. There's this sexual scene that is so exploitative. It's borderline disgusting. It's Sam Levinson's pen for sure. He has a signature writing style. And like I said, all of his characters seem to be run-ons from project to project. And this is no different. And then at the end of it, or the next morning, he says, I need to move in. So we can look forward to the next 3 or 4 episodes that this is going to be a turn for the worse for Jocelyn. We also learned that she is borderline bankrupt, that she cannot afford the mansion that she's living in. And someone else from her team has been, paying for her to live in this Hank Azaria's her character. He's been paying for her to live this lifestyle she cannot afford, and he's tired of fronting the money for her. Anyway, it's a mess of an episode. There was so much potential there, but it's torturous to watch. Some scenes, it's very torturous. I wonder what this looked like before Sam Levinson got involved. What didn't work for them? For them to say, all right, let's cut our losses and let's bring in Sam Levinson. What did that look like? Was that better? Was that something more that could have been more appealing to viewers? Because this just seems like so toxic. It's really, really bad. And though it's some good music and the score and cinematically it looks good, it's the world. It's greasy. It's disgusting. And it's Sam Levinson's signature. That's bad. We did get to see more of Lily Rose Depp's acting ability. I think she did fantastic in the episode. It's the writing, though. That's really sad. It's only going to get worse from here, is what I fear. See for yourself. 2 episodes of The Idol's 6-episode season is currently streaming on Max.